We just watched episode 5 of season 2 of Arcane now. Where do you want to start with that?
Start at the start of the novel, or
start wherever you want to start.
Start at the beginning of the episode.
I even had shit through that one that I don't know if that. Again, I've only seen this season once. Or the second one I'd seen like twice when we watched it.
The first one, you mean?
Sorry, the first season.
Yeah.
The first season I'd seen like twice, and then we watched it. This one is still pretty fresh to me. I've only seen it once. And some of this shit that it has meaning in different ways and shit now to me. This one, Jesus Christ. I'm trying not to swear too much, but...
Who gives a shit?
Fuck, man. Well, I will talk more when we get more to that point where I feel like that shit hit me, but...
We can start...
This show is ridiculous, man.
We can start wherever. If you can save it, or do you want to start with that?
No, I'll definitely come back to that, I feel like, when it's appropriate at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
We can start at the beginning of the
That's
novel.
probably smarter, because I didn't take notes.
Go back to the beginning of the
I should
episode.
almost be fucking taking notes, too.
You should.
Maybe in the
because you'll take different notes
through the
than
back
me.
half.
When I take an intermission for notes, you should just
I'm going to
start
start taking
down.
notes, too. Honestly, I didn't expect to need to, but I fucking think I do. Which is... I did not expect that, man. Jesus.
Yeah, dude, like you said, they cram a lot in the season.
But it's not... there's
there
that.
is so much
This
going
show
on.
alone is so insane, and then there's shit I'm tying to it too, besides the show, and like, Jesus, then Jesus. Let's start with your shit at the start.
Let's just go back to the
Let's
start.
go to the start. I don't have any notes to the start.
All right, yeah, so the episode begins kind of where we left off talking last time about like Vi didn't appear yet. We were wondering where the hell she was. Then I saw a little quick spoiler up on the Netflix, but we won't talk about that.
Stupid, but it's not that big.
It's whatever.
It's stupid. From now on, don't look as we start the episode, because Netflix likes to paste a picture from the end of the episode on. Where's the camera? There it is. They like to put a picture up from like the end of the episode, so if you haven't seen
or like
it
the
yet,
big moment.
yeah, like the spoiler at the end is always a photo on there. Come on, Netflix.
You almost can't avoid that either if you're watching the show.
No, you would see that.
At that point, I would have been like, damn it, I don't want to know that yet.
I even told Ma to watch this show, and I don't think she has started yet.
Yeah,
but
no,
that's
I
the
don't
same
think
kind
so.
of stupid shit that shouldn't be up there when you're watching it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I were watching it for the first
No, you
time
don't
on my own and
you don't
saw
wanna
that,
see a
I'd be like,
fucking-
bro,
Why do you want to see a still at the end of the episode?
I didn't even see this character yet. Now I know exactly what she's about to get up to at the damn climax of the episode.
That's fucking stupid. From now on, when we watch it, when we start it, you'll stare
I'll
at the
just look
ceiling
away.
or the wall or something.
Hell yeah, I'll look
'Cause
away.
That's stupid.
That is
Whoever came
stupid.
up with that, that's stupid. Maybe change that to like the start of the episode.
But that's the
or
thing, though.
something.
That's gonna make people go like, "Ooh, what's that? Like,
Yeah,
about that looks cool."
But it's still annoying.
It is annoying.
Personally, I think that's stupid.
Excuse me. So yeah, the episode starts out showing by shows that she's being self-destructive, and
Which you literally said something
Yeah,
like
I
that
did.
before, man.
I said she's probably off doing something self-destructive.
It's trippy that you came to that conclusion that quickly. With
I don't know.
her
She
character.
just, I don't know, has that vibe. Like a lot of bad shit happens. It just like hardens her into more of just like a fuck it attitude, where it's
Yeah,
just
rage,
self-destructive,
kinda,
rage.
like,
Yeah.
Which again is sort of similar in some ways to her
But always
damn
keeps
sister.
up them fight skills. Though.
They're both
So
like
she's like a
that.
fight club.
Her sister's kind of like that too, but now they're almost in this at this point they've almost switched.
Dude,
in
I
lot
made
of
a note
ways.
of that. We'll talk about that more in a minute, but I did make a note of that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of see what the fuck she's been up to down there, fight clubbing it up.
Sorry, how this show is still making me feel so fucking emotional watching this shit again. No show has ever done that to me before, ever that I've ever watched. And I've seen the show.
Yeah,
It's so I don't get it. Like I truly don't get what the fuck these people have done to write this shit that makes me care so much
yeah.
about the fucking characters and stuff. Games don't even do that as much, man. It's fucking weird.
I'm a little broken.
Some
All right.
games
It takes.
have done
I don't know
that.
what it takes for me to break down, but
Well, me too. But honestly,
it's rare.
dude, I'm this exact
Unfortunately,
same way.
it's probably not a good thing.
This is a weird thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, and this probably won't even get put in this episode because this is now trailing off to shit that is just
Well, it doesn't matter.
overly personal and probably doesn't really tie back to the show, but kind of does too. I was the same way for the longest time, and it literally wasn't until I watched through this fucking show that it did something to me, man. Like emotionally, I don't know what it was that made me almost like I really got to find the right words.
More sensitive to emotion, or
yes,
yeah,
big time. And I hadn't had that feeling for a very long time. And of all fucking things to do it, why was it this? This stupid show, which was it's not even about. There's not even actual people or anything on the screen. Yeah. You would think when you watch like movies and shows of human beings going through shit, it would weigh more, but it didn't.
Well, there's got to be a reason it's got such high ratings. It's the
writing that's like psychotically good.
The way they tie everything together and tie everything back to like shit you wouldn't even expect to tie back a lot of the times.
Just drooped.
What the fuck? I saw that.
As you were saying that, it just drooped up. This is fucking probably not tight enough. I don't have a good grip on that. I can probably just go this way with it.
Yeah. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not cutting my shit off at all. No, that's fine.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I don't know. There's the way they tie everything together is definitely really fucking well done. Like, story writing and shit's crazy. Like,
I don't know.
It got to a point where it's just like, yeah, I'm not even like trying to even think about what's gonna happen next. It's just basically just like strap in.
You just hold on now.
Wonder what the fuck's going on.
Grab onto something. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it does. I don't know, man. There's no other content has done that to me about anything. There was like pieces of that with Last of Us that did that a bit with the game and stuff that like fucked with your emotions, but nothing else but this show has ever done that to me.
Jeez.
Where it's like I knew what was gonna happen and everything, and this show still fucks with my emotions so hard. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, next novel note was that Jinx appeared right away to Vi and told her like Vander's alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
and
how the
Vi
episode starts.
Yeah,
right?
Vi was having like none of it. Well, yeah, pretty much you see she's in a fucking destructive fight club, like hates herself, is a wreck, and then Jake shows up, tells her that.
Yeah.
Which obviously worked ultimately because they went on together.
Yeah. Went with her, yeah. But she almost damn near killed her too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Because understandably,
everything that's happened before.
Jinx is usually fucking psychotic, and I guess they hadn't seen each other in a while. A lot of shit's changed.
Yeah. Fucking that black fucking hair now.
Yeah. It's quite a bit different for sure.
She got like full goth on us.
Just like the worst shit that kept happening. She just kept physically like just changing herself to darkness.
Pretty much, yeah. Quite physically manifest itself. I don't know if we spoke about this before, but a weird side note that goes back farther into the show. But have we talked about their like eye color and stuff?
Yeah, you mentioned
it. We did mention that. Okay,
I think it was recording. I hope.
I don't know if it was.
I mentioned like the colors of their eyes and their hair are the exact opposite or something. Yeah. Is it specifically just the eyes? Like each other's eyes?
The eyes to hair. So, well, even in this picture, you can see that Vi's eyes are like a very bright blue. And the color that they actually chose for that to color it was powder blue.
That's right.
Goes to her sister. And then and it's not until Jinx gets shimmered up with the pink that her eyes are like a violet red or violet pink, which that's her name.
Yeah.
That's so fucking crazy, that detail they put in there of that.
That is
such a stupid thing to do.
It was like how you were telling me earlier about the chanting of like the children in that song were in a made-up language. That actually translates to something. Episode 3, I think.
I don't think I can put that even on the screen, but
I
can put a link to someone else who's probably done it, or a picture,
or mention the song.
I read an article that was like that. Yeah, the chanting in episode 3. What's the song called? Fuck. I just seen it earlier. Ashes and Blood. That's what the song's called. But the chanting that the kids do in that is not a real language. I think the writers of Arcane, like the show of Lee, like the bosses, all that, came up with like a language and then brought these kids in to sing it, which translates to actual like English words that relate to the story and shit happening.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There's so much
just stupid amount of crazy
in there. It's insane.
Unnecessary crazy.
No doubt. But it's cool. It's interesting.
Cool. I have to put some kind of link to that or something when I get to that. It's a while yet, but
I had written there's a lot of like scenes where kind of how you mentioned earlier how Jinx and Vi's roles were starting to reverse, where Vi was starting to see flashes of images from people from her past and shit a lot, and clearly like Caitlyn was very involved in a lot of those visions. That one obviously cut that girl deep. But yeah, like they were literally like fucking switching. Like Jinx is pretty fucking mentally like and sound.
She's very much taking care of Isha, which I think Vi is also seeing. Vi is seeing how she used to look at Powder. I think.
Oh yeah, I wrote a lot
inner
of some
self
notes
like
about that
switched
too.
to like. Now you've got like a big change there, obviously.
And realizing too, like obviously how it all went. Like she didn't get to fully like be there.
Yeah.
It all went to shit.
Yeah. So now she's having to watch Jinx do what she wanted to be
Failed
doing
to do
to
it
Powder
at
the
the
whole
end of the
time.
day, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Caitlyn went more ruthless too. You can clearly see that, like when she started interrogating that scientist, which his name was finally fucking said. I wrote down, but
I think I remember his name. Yeah, I remember you definitely wrote something, I think, when that happened. But
Dr. Revik.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I weirdly don't even think is his actual game name or anything.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
I think
it's
his,
like an alter ego or
maybe
like
his last name or something
pseudonym.
that's said, but which we'll see if we get to that or not. I don't remember if it comes or not.
Trippy.
But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on his name there. It might be that. That could be his game name too, because he
maybe even just Revik or something.
That is a character from the game.
Dr. Revik. Trippy shit.
Dr. Hartman.
Literally reminded me of Dr. Hartman shit a little bit, but
I was waiting for that.
but way cooler. Like
Well, yeah, Dr. Hartman. What you want to?
Dr. Hartman's a fucking asshole. But yeah, they were interviewing.
Side note.
It's pretty trippy how Caitlyn like walked the crime scene and like was piecing it all together and could see pretty much what was happening there, and
like
right
she
away
did in the first season.
Yeah,
when Jinx would blew the shit up, and
that's right.
On the shit.
It reminds me of the show Hannibal. How they fucking summon Will.
Shit.
They summon him out to the crime, and he can pretty much just live in the crime scene.
Yeah,
and
he had Caitlyn's ability, like same
yeah,
kind of shit.
bro.
Like hardcore detective.
So as soon as she saw it, she knew like,
oh god, that show was so good.
The doctor led the fucking beast there because she saw the blood trail. Like she saw everything.
So strange that you threw Hannibal in there, but yeah, they basically have the exact same ability.
The few times I've seen that, I'm like, that reminds me of Hannibal a little bit.
I haven't seen that in so long, and
me neither.
God, that show was so good.
Took me like so long to get through it, but I damn well did it.
Fuck, that show was so good. I need to watch that again
really
almost.
It was really good.
I would watch that again. That's that good. God, yeah, that show was good.
Yeah, I wrote that Caitlyn
cool, good reference.
Oh fuck yeah! I wrote that she recognized the scientist led the beast there.
Yep.
And found him in his cell. Weird that he literally locked himself in there.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like
he stayed. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't want to try to get out or nothing.
But then he mentioned like patience and stuff. So like that dude I think is older than we even can fathom.
Could be
in a lot of ways. Like he referenced time and how he's got a lot of it.
He referenced a lot of
and patience
shit like that.
and shit like that. Now I think his storyline's starting to flood in like a lot all of a sudden.
There was like a photo in the locket that he had, which has
weight. I wrote notes.
I'm just gonna shut up and let you read your notes.
It's good. No, talk about it openly. But I did.
In case you missed something.
I try to.
You do a good job. You do a good job at catching all that shit. You know what the fuck's going on.
They threatened to lock him like underground. Shit that like they haven't even resorted to with like any of their prisoners yet. But Caitlyn was like, "Fuck, I'll put your ass down there."
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck.
Oh, now we're getting into the shit with fucking Mel down there and that wherever the fuck they're at, she's at.
Plots on plots on plots on plots on plots, bro.
So she recalls her attack from the flower magic and recalls her friend's death, which I forget the name of right now.
Me too right now. Shit. I'll put it on the screen.
Then she wakes up in that fucking like weird underground Control-esque fucking dimensional prison.
I literally thought of Control a lot of times.
Dude, when they look up in that like
several times when watching the show, Control came to me big time. Like if they do this kind of shit with the show,
oh dude,
that show will be,
but it won't be animated.
I know, yeah, just not animated.
I don't know how they're gonna do that, man.
Kind of shit with that show. I literally thought of that when watching this show.
There's so much shit that if they do with the show, it's like
if they can do shit like this,
monsters, trippy, shifting, fucking psychedelic buildings. Traffic lights,
bulldozers, whatever the
pink flamingos and bulldozers.
Very much a side note, but
if anyone knows anything about Remedy games or
Control or Alan Wake,
then you might have half a clue. But we're just talking shit at this point.
but yeah, I legit
Control
thought of Control
vibes.
several times when watching this show. I kept thinking like this is the sort of like shit they need to watch to inspire what the fuck they do.
I don't think
they'll
fuck that up, man.
I don't either.
That's high like expectation.
But fuck me, nothing surprises me.
I'm pretty sure fucking Remedy's heavily involved, and
Which is what these feckers did with this show.
They seem to care so much about their shit where I don't think they're going to accept anything more than they can envision, if that makes sense.
The developers had a huge part in this show, which again, literally thought if Remedy does the same thing with their show, it'll be fucking great.
Yeah.
That's really just a big part of it.
That'll be, fuck me. That's a while to come, but...
Yeah, but if they borrow a shit like what this show did, they're fine. Like, it works. It's going to be good.
I don't think it'll have the budget. Well, who knows, though?
See. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows who the fuck... Who's going to jump on board?
Budget.
Some company, I think, did jump on board to, like, help them make that.
Netflix buying them or something now, too, and then they'll be fine.
I don't know how big budget that company was.
Yeah, I think that helped them a lot.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Riot Games did Arcane.
Netflix they had
infinite money. Them probably really helped them a
Definitely. Lot. I've heard before when Netflix is interested in like some creator's thing, they just dump a shitload of money at them and be like, yes, make your thing. Like they don't fucking meddle and fuck around. They just actually let people do their thing. Stranger Things. There's some pretty good shit that Netflix has done. Not all of it, but
they do some good shit. They do quite a bit of good shit.
Because they have so much funding.
They're honestly quite a new like developer as far as like a studio almost goes. Really, like Netflix. Oh, there goes the light.
Huh. I feel like Netflix. Netflix has been around for a long time, but like they were.
Okay.
But they were like a rental company for a while.
Isn't anybody even here?
I don't think anyone's here.
If the lights just randomly change color again, yeah.
Don't mind that. All right, yeah. So we're talking about how Mel recalls her attack from the fucking flower magic shit and wakes up in that alternate dimension prison or whatever the fuck, man. That shit was weird, whatever it was. Yeah, and there's more to talk about that, but the notes don't go there yet. So there was a scene actually you mentioned when we watched it, how Vi sees like Jinx's hideout and sees that mural on the wall of like, I think it's like Vander and Jinx up on the wall. And you said like that's a pretty powerful like scene that's like really short.
That's when they first start going, before they go into the...
They pretty much first meet up there, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like just getting ready to go.
There's like a painting of Jinx like almost like unifying the underground, and then I think there's like a little thing of Vander in the corner or something.
I think he was painted on the wall.
Yeah, he was also painted on it too. So it's like they're together almost, and then
that's trippy.
Where the feck we go with the goddamn episode and all this bullshit.
Jesus
hardcore foreshadowing.
Yes,
like ridiculous foreshadowing.
I didn't even think of that until now. That like how much that painting was like. Yeah, it's referencing what was
this is what's coming later.
They always do that shit.
They do that so much.
Yeah, that was a good, quick, again, a lot of shit happening in a scene that was like maybe 8 seconds long.
And it meant nothing until you've seen it, like what happens later, basically.
But all along that whole scene, I think it was a way for like Vi seeing how much shit was changing. Yeah. It was seeing like, damn, Jinx isn't just some wild, crazy fucking lunatic anymore.
She's looked at it like completely different now.
Yeah.
The underground is looking up to her now, not like what it used to.
Yeah, that was like one of the first, I think, signs where she realized like shit, things are changing. Like kind of like how you mentioned, seeing how much Jinx cares about fucking Isha is reminding her of the relationship that they never got to really fully have.
She straight up says that like at one point in the episode, at this episode or the last one, how she like never did this with her sister and all that, something like that. Is it this one or the last one?
I forget, but I do remember.
She says something like that.
Yeah, they like fight a little bit in the tunnel when they get going. Jinx and Vi.
It's like a straight up like sibling battle.
Yeah, like not actually trying to hurt each other.
Yeah,
but then the kid gets involved. Really interesting how they played that into the whole fucking overall plot as well, because the kid jumps on Vi's back, ends up getting elbowed or whatever, and gets a little bit of a bloody nose. That blood gets on the ground. The scientist said fucking the beast is drawn to blood only, I'm pretty sure. Like, pretty much only blood.
He's not necessarily drawn to his blood or anything, which you kind of think in the last one, but he's just bloodthirsty. Like straight blood in general sets him the fuck off. Yeah.
So that
he's a real wild
immediately
card.
made the fucking Vander head over to that fucking place where they were.
Yeah, Isha was leaking out of her fucking nose.
Yeah, they continue to follow the cave. There's this weird white glowing shit that's on the walls.
I think that's just like a type of moss that's like part of this
like
world.
underground,
and it glows. And that they keep clapping. It's like a clap on.
Yeah, like
they're constantly
it's producing
clapping
light.
and making noise.
I wasn't quite sure if that was something like Vander was
create...
like producing as he came by, or if that was just.
I think that's like a.
It's like a fungus.
It's like a fungus that it reacts to sound. Anytime there's sound, it lights up for some reason.
That's pretty dope.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, weird thing.
That's cool. Yeah, that fucking scientist is offered a place, like, basically as, like, a high revered counselor. I'm pretty sure she even kind of, like, worded it as in a way.
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what Ambessa says, but she's trying to straight up recruit his ass.
And he immediately, like, just agreed, pretty much, it looked like.
Yeah. But he also,
I feel like that dude has his own shit going on.
He was exposing
in his mind.
why, because they kept asking him why, and Caitlin exposes his name and all that shit, like you said earlier.
Which actually I didn't even get to that note yet, but it's coming up.
Yep.
So he's, we talked about that. Vi's more like Jinx now. They like switched. So yeah, Dr. Revik is the scientist, and he's all along somehow motivated by love. By his,
he says that
assuming dead girlfriend in the fucking tank.
There's someone in the tank, yeah.
Well, and the locket, like it looks like that's who he loved, and somehow he thinks that beast has something to do with how to beat death, which was his ultimate goal.
His goal is always figuring death out.
That's a pretty hell of a goal.
Fucking show, he's been trying. How much everyone he experiments on, does his shit on, is beating death one way or another.
And it showed there were so many little flash scenes. I feel like that probably mean a lot in his. He had a lot of screen time in this episode. And there was a lot of
probably his most yet.
Really. A lot of flashing and a lot of just flashes to the past, flashes to Vander's past.
Which I
wrote about that.
We've seen some of a huge flash of that.
Mm-hmm.
A huge flash before the end there, before Vi fucking is hugging him and shit.
Mm.
Which that scene just.
So Dr. Revik is basically essentially looking to cure death.
Yes.
Which is pretty trippy. And he thinks the beast is a part of unlocking that secret, which makes sense because fucking Vander's dead. He died. Yet he's there.
He ain't
and
dead.
He's fucking being Wervander now. So he's doing somebody's got some shit going on with death.
Fuck's sake.
That makes a lot of sense about all the shit that he talked about throughout. This specimen must stay alive and shit. All that was his ways of trying to fight death.
Way back. Yeah.
Assuming, just thinking about it now, when fucking Victor first stumbled on him and he's working on that salamander, I have a feeling maybe his wife was sick or something at the time. And that was his earliest versions of all right, I know she's going to die. Let me try to fucking start getting ahead of that.
He was basically testing the first versions of
immortality. Shimmer, yeah.
Yeah, which was to keep fucking people alive.
The same shit he used on himself. He used on Jinx. He used on
he used
Victor,
on the kid in the fucking alleyway, the very first one that fights Vi and all of them, and the very first one that takes it. Well, technically, the cat or the rat that fights the cat is the first one that takes it that we actually see, and then you see the young kid take it.
Was fucking Revik there for that? Was he a part of that?
Yeah, 100%. That was the same guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
See, but he looks different because his eye's not fucked up. It's not until powder blows him up.
He didn't mean shit then.
Yeah,
because this is the beginning of the show. I didn't know anybody.
Silco and him are the same. That's those two characters from episode. They're in episode 2 or 1 even.
Oh, so he brought forth the fucking Shimmer and said
he's the one that had Shimmer, OG Shimmer.
Jeez, and where he's at now is miles ahead of that.
Totally different than then. You're seeing them starting to use it for shit back then.
Yeah. So the whole going back to Mel's shit being in that fucking cage.
Oh yeah, Mel's shit. There's so many fucking different plots.
At first, it looked like her brother was in there with her, and then it turned out not being her fucking brother.
That was supposed to be.
It's a shapeshifter, magic, whatever the fuck wielder.
Yeah.
But weirdly, she instinctively starts knowing how to navigate that.
She starts figuring it out pretty quickly.
Just naturally drawing shit on the floor, which is changing the room, which is fucking control.
Yeah.
And she looked at it like a puzzle of some kind. So somehow she instinctively knew, which I think actually we'll get back to more shortly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right now, actually. Yeah, I wrote this note before I knew fully what the fuck was going on, but now I know more about it. So weirdly, the brother I think was mentioning like, or who the fuck was mentioning this lost child from their mother? So obviously Mel and her brother were talking, and was it them who were saying like there was a lost child? Yeah, it was. It was the brother telling her.
It was the people who had captured them that were saying there's some kind of a lost child that they're after, basically.
But like their mother was involved in, because the brother kept saying like the more I looked into it, it was definitely like their mom. Like it doesn't sound like her. Like she fell in love and had a kid. Basically,
yeah, they were tied in, and this other faction was looking for that kid.
Yeah, and that kid seems to be involved in this fucking magic shit.
Yeah,
because she's referred to Mel as like sister or something. I think.
Yeah,
real quick.
She called him brother early on.
Yes,
Mel called
she
this
really
guy
thought that
brother.
was her brother, because he's supposed to be dead
at the end. Yeah, exactly.
But that's not him.
So her mom does say early on, either in this season, or could have even been in season 1.
It was in season 1 that her brother died.
That she said,
or whenever she first appeared. It wasn't
she said
long.
Your brother's
like,
dead or
yes.
whatever. Yeah, early on when she first appeared.
Weirdly though, I thought she said, like Mel asked like what happened, and her mom said like he got involved with some people he shouldn't have got involved in.
She didn't straight up just say what happened,
but knew it was somebody like. You shouldn't fuck with these people.
Yeah, and
so she seems to know more about this shit than
for sure.
You would think.
On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she lied about what happened when she witnessed this shit take someone right in front of her. Like
yes,
she knows more about what that is.
It also showed, I believe, in the 3rd episode or something, that her mom straight up like orchestrated the whole attack on the funeral scene and stuff, which you see in the 2nd episode. I think. Yeah,
well, there was very strong, like...
It was straight up showing
symbolism, like, right as Mel said, like, someone must have helped from the inside, and the background scene was her mom just standing there.
And
like,
I think in the last episode,
did they finally admit it?
It goes back and shows her, like, talking to the chick that had the green shit coming from her nose.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So she was 100% involved in that whole attack. Like, orchestrating it, setting it up. So it just feeds even harder into her setting shit up to be fucked.
She likes battling and shit.
She likes battling, yeah.
She got to battle
anyone from Noxus. Noxus, I think they're called? The Noxians.
Vikings?
Which are the Viking-looking people. They like their war.
Another child from... A mysterious child from that badass Viking chick. That is fucking... A different type of magic. So yeah, it's not Mel's brother, it's a shapeshifter. Possibly the lost child of this affair.
You're keeping up pretty good, honestly, with how much fuck this is. Probably playing Alan Wake and Control should help.
Oh, it does.
100%.
Like hyper fixate on what's going
this
on.
Type of shit. Big time helps.
Yeah, you realize like everything matters.
The perfect game to play going into a show like this.
I feel like after watching this show, playing Alan Wake like was easier to follow. Like, and I was tying a lot more shit together. And dude, that game does a great job of like you can go up to a radio, listen to it, and it'll just banter for like maybe 2 minutes or something, but it'll have a lot of meaning. What's about to happen?
Just like Alan Wake 2 did the same kind of thing. Every little stupid scene, which seemed like nothing, had so much information in it.
It's crazy.
Which is this whole show in a nutshell. Every fucking scene has something in it where you should be like, yeah, there's something going on here.
And very much like Alan Wake 2 and Alan Wake 1, you feel so lost. And the world feels like I should be exploring just anywhere and everywhere, but I'm kind of sticking to the trail and I'm missing a lot of manuscript pages. It's like, fuck.
That's kind of like watching this, yeah.
I feel very lost.
Straight up reminded me, like I said earlier, of Control and shit and Alan Wake.
I get that.
In some ways, for sure.
So yeah, next note was Warvander smells the blood from Isha in the tunnel. Sorry. That's what he's going to be called now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, he smells that blood and fucking like I said, interesting how they tied that little nosebleed back to that fucking beast loving that blood. So he's headed over there.
God, there's so much that happened in this fucking episode.
So yeah, when he gets there, Vi fights him at first.
Sorry, my eyes just fucked.
She didn't seem like she was going to win that at all. Like there was like a couple times where it's like they'd put like a slow motion uppercut where it's like, ooh, she fucked him up, and then he'd just be like, ooh, totally back to like that normal. Did nothing.
Yeah,
those fucking magic normal. Gauntlets did nothing. They fought. She started getting her ass kicked a little bit, and then I think she finally yells his name, like just straight up says like,
and
Vander.
That's when you cut hard into the fucking memory of Vander's memory.
Oh, yeah.
Straight into his memory.
So that's going back to like their
And it's
whole
like-
family, like their parents. Yeah,
Yeah, that's their mom.
they never showed her yet.
No, that's the first time you full see her, and her voice sounds so much like Jinx's voice, which is trippy. And I'm pretty sure her hair color is the combination of the two of them combined.
Oh, really?
Purple. Their mom's hair is purple, which I'm pretty sure is like blue and red is purple, is it not?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure blue and red creates purple, which is 100% why they did that.
Damn.
They do so much of that kind of stuff in this. Yeah, that's Vi. What? And Vander straight up says that's where the fucking name comes from. It's fucking Vander.
He finally. They never actually said Violet until then.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think.
the first.
But I always think I kind of knew it.
Powder does say her name earlier on.
Oh,
in the
does she?
first season.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think
I kind of missed that then.
no, it might be the only time you actually hear her
It's
full
very
name.
like not
It's
much.
very, very rarely said until Vander says it in the second season.
Interesting how that the mother was saying like she didn't really want a kid.
Yeah,
and it
she
was
wasn't
like,
even interested in kids. And even their Silco's there too.
Oh, he was chill as fuck. They were cool at least
Yes,
at this point.
That was
they were still
when
very
everything was
cool.
still okay. Yeah.
That seemed to be maybe I don't know how like maybe when people first started going to the underground and like
Because
everybody thought this is fucking terrible and Vander's like
Yeah.
fuck this, like I'm gonna open up a bar or something and it's gonna be
they're
chill.
still trying to figure everything out, I think, because they were still calling it Zon and stuff, which it didn't even really exist yet. They wanted like the underground to be a thing and like all the poor like people trying to get it together and shit.
I just remember like I guess his wife essentially saying something about like yeah like the impossible dream you guys had of like making something good from this shithole like came true with with the bar and just how everything was starting to I guess seem okay at that point. Clearly didn't stay that way.
And she literally their mom, which I don't know her name, straight up just says to Silco and Vander that you have to like make everything okay for them from now on, like for the kids.
Yeah.
For both of them.
Yeah.
That's what the
And
mom
they ended
says
up
that.
going to war together,
For
like
fuck's
to
sakes.
each other.
And they both end up raising them differently and shit. Silco raises Jinx for so long and stuff. It's like, for fuck's sakes. All as a promise of their like mother originally is like
Who
as
died
when
in
they
like
were all
episode
friends,
1
like, way
or
early
whatever the
on,
fuck.
Yeah.
You just know she's gone from early
from
on.
a long time ago. Ugh. That is crazy writing.
It is. And it's crazy shit, man.
So good.
So yeah, after that cutscene, there's also like they found a note from Silco to or Vander to Silco that he never got to read. I guess.
Silco
Where
never-
were they exactly there?
So they after
Somewhere-
that episode is called Blisters and Bedrock, which is also said by their mom in the end there. I think that's either the name of their hideout that they have together, the three of them, or like a bar or something maybe that they had originally. I'm not 100% sure on what that actually is, but it's called that specifically.
Because
she says
Silco's jacket was there and shit when they found that letter, and she like goes up and
that's the
sees
same
like
bar that the three of them were at before.
Oh.
So it's all their memories. Silco's jacket with the S carved in it. The
letter that never
from
got
Vander,
sent or
his
never got read or
like a
found.
drink thing is referencing Vander because he was the bartender. Yeah, I don't 100% know exactly what that is. It's either like an OG bar they had before, but it's called Blisters and Bedrock because they always reference that. Silco says it in that. The mom says it in that. The episode's called that.
That could have been their like
It's,
fail
and it's
safe.
like an underground cave, like Blisters and Bedrock. It's
like if all shit's going bad, we'll always
it's
have
like they
this.
fought for that, and that's their like
sanctuary.
thing. Either their get together or where it all started. That could have been where the underground started. I'm not 100% sure, but it has gigantic meaning.
Yeah.
It was always Blisters and Bedrock.
Trippy how they read that note and Jinx said like if he'd read this like I could have changed
It would have
everything.
changed, and it would have completely changed.
Yeah.
And it's signed V too, which could have also been like a weird reference to Vi or Vander.
Yeah.
Because their two relationships are very similar. Like Vander's to Silco's is what Vi and Jinx are almost now. They're kind of fucked.
Like like
They never
siblings
could get
that
together
like
and just like sort it out.
they like always had that like love and care there, but like couldn't quite see eye to
get
eye.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that scene's fucked.
So yeah, after that whole like flashback, they fucking cut back to Vi hugging that fucking Vander brother. And
this is where it gets fucked. This is too much.
yeah, there's only like two
This
notes.
is too much.
There's not much notes left.
The writers of the show need therapy. Whoever the fuck wrote this shit.
A scene that again, we've talked about how this show does, where they'll say something early on, and then the opposite character will call it back. Both Vi and Jinx in this say, it's your father too, or whatever.
Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So they both said, like,
when she said that
it's
earlier,
your dad
like,
too.
I know she says that later, and I didn't know that the first time I watched that.
Yeah, see? Yep.
Watching it again, I'm like, I know that's what the last fucking thing she says is. And I'm like, oh, that's
early on when Vi's like, this is stupid, like, Jinx, you're just going crazy.
It's your
like
dad too.
You're on a
He's
wild
too.
goose chase. Like, why am I here? And that's what she said.
literally says, he's your dad too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the fucking last thing that Vi says in that episode. Good night. That's like, if your fucking emotions aren't broken
Good night,
now.
eh?
They are now. That scene was fucked.
I mean, yeah. So we should talk about this more now, because this is what you were talking about earlier.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
You haven't mentioned any of this yet?
No, briefly, but just briefly.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can even put
Well,
this fully
you
in
can
or not.
subtly mention it. Like,
I can at
just
least
say, like,
we can at
our
least
friends.
talk about it.
Our friends.
We can
you
at
know?
least talk about it. We briefly said that earlier. Watching this episode again, it was worse than watching it the first time around, because all I could think about was, especially Cody through this. But Omar too. And the fact that he's watching this almost at the exact same
That
time
was
we
weird.
are is fucking wacky too.
Yeah, a
He
couple of
straight
our
up
friends,
is
like-
messaging me at the
Yeah.
same time we're watching this shit.
A couple of our friends who have both lost.
He's probably done the show
lost
at
their
this
father
point.
within like the last year or two. So it's like, yeah. And they both watched it.
And I talked briefly to Cody about this, but the show fucked him up too when he watched it. Like, he was sad as fuck, crying and shit. And
That
it did
makes
that to
sense.
me too, but after watching that episode again, it was like, like trying to think of how he interpreted it, it fucked me up badly.
Oh, dude.
Like, I couldn't even imagine what the fuck, man.
Yeah, man. That shit's fucking insane. Like,
That was overwhelming as fuck.
yeah. Got him.
Yeah, it got me, but again, just thinking of his perspective, watching that again was strange. The show is fucking sad enough alone, but when you're gonna start referencing it to your like friends and stuff, it's
Well, yeah, it takes on a whole new meaning.
a little
man.
much.
It's a lot.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know where to go from there.
It's insane writing. That's where you go.
These motherfuckers that wrote this shit should probably seek help. Someone needs help. This ain't normal.
So there's more fucking insanity at the very end of that episode. Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember it. I know what the fuck it means.
So the Sallow guy meeting with Jace in this. Is Jace stuck under there? Or is like.
Well, it seemed like he kind of just came back, almost, basically. Yeah, this thing like does its shit, and it shows Jace like morphing back into like the same place as
back
Sallow.
into that. Yeah,
The
Sallow.
Sallow is there too.
And he can walk now and shit. So and clearly Victor
And
healed him.
Victor
and
is-
Victor can communicate
Victor is
through him.
straight up fucking hooking up to his asshole.
And communicating through
And
him.
he's talking to Jace like, I'd rather talk to you in person, all this shit.
And that he's made a few breakthroughs, and he never thought he'd get to talk to him again. And he said, like, yes, you should come see me. But then Jace goes ahead and warhammers that motherfucker.
I was just gonna say the exact same fucking thing.
Warhammered his ass.
I was literally gonna
'cause
say Jace Warhammer.
Jace now does not trust Hextech. He said, like, we need to destroy it.
Yep.
And Victor's like, bro,
And so
no.
So
There's
the
too
last
much
time
work
we
to do.
seen Jace, he also has like short hair and shit.
No beard.
Now he's fucking like
Bearded up.
Jace is
wrinkled
homeless
up. He's been through some shit.
Jace is on some shit now.
Just like, that makes sense. The weight was piling onto him fucking a year ago. This is a year later. The weight done fucking crashed down on him.
And
always talked
he
about
crashed down on him.
Dude, we always talked about how much weight was piling onto Jace, and he fully fucking just
and Jace
fucking.
says now, yeah.
He embraced that warhammer and that beard.
And he blew fucking, what was his name up?
Sallow, he just
Sallow exploded.
blew him up.
That's how that episode ended. Sallow exploded. He was stretched.
and it looked like he was like all peaceful and like he was kind.
Yeah, he was trying
and-
to help Victor.
Yeah, he was
like-
going to collect some shit from the core. I think that's
Yeah.
what that was.
And then he blew him up.
Literally said, like, I can't let you leave. And the guy's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then got blew
And
up.
he fucking blew him straight.
Fucking warhammer, dude.
That's how it fucking ended.
That's why they were
son.
so dramatic with that warhammer. And once he grabbed it, he embraced it. Literally, like that motherfucker went from like a peaceful, like I want no violence, to building a warhammer, and when he built
blowing people the fuck up now.
he killed a child the first time he grabbed it. So
and now he just technically killed a council member. Technically now,
yeah.
Which the council doesn't seem to really almost be a thing anymore.
I was gonna say, like, is that guy still a council member?
He was technically like a high-ranking person, though.
It was,
and he just popped him like it was, like
smacked him with that hammer,
like whatever the fuck you call that. Like, fuck's that game where you hit the fucking things with the hammer?
Like whack-a-mole?
Whack-a-mole shit. He's whack-a-mole.
Oh, yeah, he whacked him. Yeah. That was a lot in there, buddy. It was. Got any more to add to that whack-a-mole shit? They're back in that fucking drug field, fucking entity, fucking driven.
Yeah, the fucking
alternate dimension was there again.
Yeah. That came back.
And it, like, whatever the fuck Jason's got going on, like, it seems to be affecting him because he constantly, like, is just like battling it, like, whatever the fuck's going on with his head is.
He's almost got jinx shit going on now in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
What do you think, buddy? Want to get that last one in?
We can.
Yeah.
Probably should.
This season's episodes are a lot shorter than the first one by like 5 to like 8 minutes a lot of times. Weirdly, season 2 is shorter, just costs a lot more money.
Hell. Oh, fuck.
Okay, here we go. Let's end this fucking act.